We are coming at you live with session 3 of our Neverland, Nevermore campaign. And let's get started. As always, who would like to give the recap for a free 6? David, you are disqualified because you went last time. Also, David did not realize this. The free 6 is a use it or lose it kind of thing. So if you do not use it in this game session, is gone.
I'm going to be honest, on top of that, I just totally forgot that I had that free 6.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I feel like I reminded you at some point. Oh, wait. I said on the way.
Cool, Teddy will get here, and we'll have to... Mary, quick, recap. That way we have to roleplay telling Teddy what happened last time.
So last time, we came back in right after we came into the dream time, and then the fairy that brought us in had to go talk to the other fairies, so she left us with
Uh-oh. Are we losing Mary?
an old granny sort of fairy.
All right, Mary. Unfortunately, you are breaking up more than you are actually coming through.
Teddy.
So Mary's super delayed. I just heard her a little bit ago say, "Is this better?" And she's just now talking about Teddy coming through chat.
Yeah.
So... that's bad.
Yep. I don't know if she needs to move closer to the Wi-Fi router or what.
Just delayed, okay. Yeah, it's like also super cutting, and then also Teddy came through like 2 seconds after he said this is better, and I'm sure he said that a little while ago.
This is why everyone needs a 50-foot Ethernet cable.
Exactly. All right. Is Mary trying to get situated better, or do we need to find someone else to give the recap?
I'm sure Mary's trying to fix it right now, but that means it's probably going to be a bit, so it's going to be between Faith and Jason.
All right. Faith, Jason, who wants to give the recap?
I will do my best.
All right. Well, Mary was correct. We did pick up last time after you guys had made it to the dream time initially and had just gone out of the temple to go to the fairy village, and Ilara had gone off to try to explain herself to the other fairies and left you with Maureen, who was the old granny type fairy.
Yes. And Maureen explained that we don't really have to worry. We're no longer in danger. If anything were to harm us, we would just get pulled back into the dream time.
Yep.
And then she laid out a bunch of multiple choice options for adventures we could go on.
Well, that was quite a bit later.
One of which...
First, she made you soup, and then Ilara came back and had grown you guys a treehouse.
Right. We have a treehouse. Alex was not interested in the treehouse at first, very skeptical. And then
out
Benjamin
of the tree, out of nowhere. Why should I trust it? It's grew out of nowhere.
You're not going to get any arguments from me. But then Benjamin shamed them into finally climbing up the ladder into the treehouse.
Yeah.
And we really enjoyed the meal. We were not used to having unlimited, actual sustenance. Even when we got here and we were in Magic Land, we basically just gorged ourselves on sugar the day, so that was not. I mean, it was great, but
well,
not great.
and this time when you were like, please, can I have some more? You didn't just get thrown out on your butt.
Yeah. Okay, is this the point where we got the different missions?
Pretty much. You guys kind of goofed around in your little treehouse rooms a little bit. Benjamin made friends with a lemur. And then you guys headed back down where after Alara checked in on you guys to make sure you were doing good, she was like, once you guys are ready to move forward, meet me down by Marine. You did that.
Oh, and we were all jumping on the beds because they were the softest beds we've ever felt in our lives. So we didn't want to stop jumping on the beds.
Yeah.
I don't remember what all the missions offered were. I'm assuming those are not going to change, but that could be wrong. I do remember.
They're not like gone permanently, but it's not like you'll get the exact same ones every time either.
You remember there was a quest about a giant wild goose.
Yep. There is one about a giant goose on the loose.
A goose on the loose. Some might say a wild goose chase.
Potentially.
But May wasn't even listening to the other ones because I think it was the first one that was mentioned was involving a unicorn. And so then it was just like brain off. That's the one May wants to do.
Plus, you had already asked because Alara shrunk you down so that you could go inside of the library, which is inside of like a tree stump. And you guys had asked the library some questions, and May had asked for a book about animals.
Yeah. May loves animals. That's her special skill, is that she loves animals and can communicate with them. And that came in very handy.
It did.
Because, wait, was this the... We got our special items last time, didn't we?
Yeah, because after the library, you headed out to Alara's loot cave.
Okay, yeah, so then that's when we all got our special items. May got a teddy bear. Benjamin got a staff. Oh man, this is really stretching the limits of my memory. Alex got an electricity gun.
Yeah, like a
electric
stick.
Gun staff stick.
Which she's definitely not salty about losing at all.
What did Tina get?
Tina got a sword that Benjamin crafted for her. Like a magical golden rapier.
Yes. And so we got some special stuff. We were very excited about that stuff. And we set off on our adventure to track down this unicorn. But not before we did a lot of research to make sure that we weren't just running in blind. We learned about this fantastical creature called a hullabaloobies, which is like pink elephant camel on spindly legs. And we didn't know it at the time, but they are quite intelligent creatures.
Indeed.
And we found that they are symbiotic with unicorns, and so if we wanted to find the unicorn, we could also find some hullabaloobies, and it is likely that they would be around this area. Benjamin found out that gold is a very good catalyst for magical spells, and used that gratuitously to do some very, very fancy spell casting. Hence the rapier, the golden rapier. Am I missing anything else before we started?
Nope, that's about it. I mean, David, or Benjamin, I should say, was especially interested in the fact that Alara's loot cave was infested with choo-choos. But it's not like that's actually plot relevant currently.
Yes. Great. Okay, so we set off on our adventure, and we ended up in kind of like a plains type biome.
Yeah, the
Like
Golden
grassy
Plains.
Yes. And pretty immediately, I think we ran into the Hullabaloobies, and they pranked us. They pranked us real good. They slithered through the grass as if they were a certain no-legged reptile. But when we investigated, it turned out it was just a Hullabaloo beast trunk. And then they popped up out of the grass and scared the bejesus out of us. We thought there was only 3, and there were 4 of us, and we were like, oh no, someone's gonna have to double up. Psych, pranked again. The 4th Holo Beast pops up out of the grass, waiting for the perfect time to jump out and surprise us.
No.
Because it turns out these Hullabaloofs are quite jokesters.
They're goofy little goobers.
And so Mei, being very fond of animals, decides to immediately run up to one and hug him. And luckily, they're very friendly creatures. So that did not have any bad ramifications. In fact, the Hullabaloo Beast picked Mei up, placed gently on his back, or her back, their back, and Mei immediately told them to take off and find the unicorn that was on the loose. And the Hullabaloo Beast did, without waiting for anyone else. And so Mei said, oh, let's hold up. I have friends. I need them. I'm just a little baby. And so everyone got on the Hullabaloo Beast, and we set off to find the unicorn. As we were nearing the unicorn, we noticed thundery skies. Got very dark, very thundery. There was some lightning, and I believe this was when the lightning started to strike at us. Luckily, we have a quick-thinking spellcaster in our party, and Benjamin was able to use his magical staff as a lightning rod. Very bold strategy. It did pay off for us, but maybe not so much for him, because he took a pretty brutal stress check, but it saved the rest of the party from being struck by lightning. So Benjamin spent the rest of the mission with a bum hand, channeling the lightning through his staff. But the rest of us survived the first lightning strike unscathed. With that, we were able to track down the unicorn, who appeared to have some sort of impaction or injury of the horn.
Yeah, its horn was broken.
Broken horn, leaking electrical magical energy, and we figured replacing the horn with a similarly electrically attuned magical object would help to alleviate the stress of the unicorn. So while we were formulating a plan of attack to say, what are we going to replace the horn with? Who's going to have to sacrifice their brand spanking new magical item? The, I guess not rabid, but very much panicking unicorn started launching more lightning bolts at us and at the boulders we were hiding behind. And that hurt. But
It didn't hurt because we all dodged perfectly.
we're all very
I was gonna
cool.
say, did it hurt considering you rolled 2 6s and 2 5s and nobody cared when the boulder next to you exploded?
We're all super cool under pressure. And so to enact the plan, May activated Mr. Snuggles, her new teddy bear, which transformed into a cartoonish little girl's imagination character of a friendly but scary and very strong bear, and wrapped the unicorn up in a bear hug and took it to the ground. While that was happening, I believe it was Alex's electrical object that we decided would be best to use for the horn. Or were we going to break Benjamin's staff?
The idea was that you would use Alex's lightning stick, but that you took a cutting of it first, because Benjamin is pretty certain that in the dream time you'd be able to grow a new one from the cutting.
Right. It's messing me up that they're both staves. Okay, so yeah, we took a little piece, a shaving of Alex's electrical staff, in order to hope to reserve it to grow a new one. And the remaining larger part of the staff, I don't know, what did we do? We just like shoved it on the unicorn's head?
So once you got the unicorn calmed down using your, great ability to deal with animals, because your Mr. Snuggles had already gotten it pinned, you realized that there was some sort of red object stuck in the broken tip of the horn. So you pulled that out first, and then yes, you attached the lightning stick, and it magically fused to the unicorn's horn, making a replacement.
Magical fusion for the win.
Yeah. And then somebody, I believe, did keep the red thing that you took out of the unicorn's horn, but you haven't really looked at it yet.
I think May just stashed that in her pocket.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I didn't even give it a second thought. May, full disclosure, does not remember that she has the red object.
Fair enough.
We'll see what comes of that. And yeah, once the unicorn was saved, I believe, that was pretty much where we stopped. I think we got teleported.
We did go a little bit further.
Time.
The unicorn led you off toward a singular tree that was in the middle of the plains and indicated an area near it. And you dug a bit there.
Oh, of course, the chest. We found a locked chest that we could not figure out how to open.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. Sounds bad.
I'm sure it's fine. It's definitely not cursed or evil or anything. But yeah, so then you guys all kind of gathered around the chest, and Alara teleported you back to the dream time. So we pick up from there with you guys just freshly teleporting into the Temple of the Elements. And as you were arriving, actually shortly before, I can remember people's character names. I'll get them eventually. Teddy and Horatio, you guys kind of wake up feeling rejuvenated and refreshed, but confused a bit as you find yourselves floating in pillars of light in the Temple of Elements. All of your friends, last thing you remember were you and your friends leaving the Temple of Elements to go talk to the fairies.
Just finish what? Put down. Damn it.
All right. So as you are kind of confused and looking around, you do find yourselves being gently lowered to the ground.
Horatio!
You guys aren't there
Strangest
yet.
nap I've ever had.
What?
Teddy said, well, that was the second strangest nap I've ever had.
All right. As you are just trying to get your bearings, suddenly there is a bright flash of light, and in the very center of the temple, you see all of your friends appear, holding hands in a circle, with Alara floating in the middle of them. And in the center of their circle is a large, heavily decorated pirate chest with skulls and other motifs.
When did we become a cult?
Does Horatio say that?
Yes.
Benjamin is gonna turn excitedly and say, "You're awake! You wouldn't believe what just happened! We met Hall of the Loopies! They're the best thing ever! They're like pink camel elephants that make slide whistle noises, and they're super awesome! Oh yeah, and we fought an electric unicorn and found this chest! Look how cool it is!"
A halaba what?
They're the best thing ever!
You guys eat any of the fruit on the island?
Yeah, we had soup.
Special soup. Well,
Well, it must have been really special because we all saw the same things.
blimey. What are the odds of everyone hallucinating the same thing? Gotta be infinitesimally small.
Benjamin, as ever distractible as he is gonna turn to Tina and say, "Oh yeah, do you still have that cutting? I still need to fix that staff for Alex."
Tina kind of fumbles as she pulls it out of her little pocket because, kind of awkwardly in there. And then hands it to you.
Benjamin is going to run off towards the exit of the temple, very excited to try and fix this.
All right, Alara is going to gesture toward the chest, and suddenly it begins levitating. And she says, "All right, well, I better get this off to the loot cave."
Benjamin, not quite out of distance at the mention of the loot cave, turns around and says, "Oh yeah, Horatio, Teddy, there's a loot cave! It's the best thing ever! Come on, I have to show you!" He starts gesturing towards them to follow.
Horatio is going to tepidly follow.
All right, I imagine the group kind of just all heads that direction at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I figure on the way to the cave, we're gonna pass the tree houses.
yes.
So on the way, Benjamin's giving his best tour guide impression as he's talking about pretty much anything in sight, like mentioning a tree.
And that
It's
stump
just
is
a
a
random
library.
Yeah, it's just a random tree. He points to a stump, is like, "There's a library that's basically Google in there. It's the best thing ever." He points to the fire that Maureen prepared the soup at, and is just like, "That's where we had literally the best soup ever." He's gonna point up at the tree house and be like, "Those are where our beds are. Those are literally the best beds ever." And yeah, he's just basically being a very excited young tour guide who basically knows anything on the way to the loot cave.
All right, soon enough, you guys arrive at the loot cave. Once again, Alara kind of just flits through the waterfall that obscures the entrance. And following behind, you all enter into the cave, which is lit in the perpetual twilight that fills all spaces in this this Dreamtime world. As you enter, there you guys notice the a number of colorful jelly-like creatures hanging from the roof wobble and kind of vibrate excitedly at your presence.
Boing noises.
Exactly.
Benjamin's gonna put his hand out to one, and as it noms on and attaches, he's like, "These are choo-choos. They're adorable, and I love them, and they're my pets."
It's like, Horatio's gonna tepidly grab one and take a suspicious bite.
Don't. Okay, you know what?
All
Like
right.
the choo-choo.
What color choo-choo did you grab? A blue one, a red one, or a yellow one?
Probably red.
All right. It tastes extremely spicy. It tastes extremely spicy, like just ghost pepper spicy. And it is thoroughly unpleasant to eat.
Get it out.
The choo-choo.
These are delicious.
Benjamin in horror.
Fire.
Benjamin in horror grabs the choo-choos like, "Don't eat them, they're not for eating, they're pets."
The choo-choo looks at you and it looks at Horatio indignantly and blows a raspberry at him.
What? He's gonna be
Horatio,
lucky.
you're lucky that didn't hurt it. He's very angry at you, though.
Next time, a little warning might be nice.
Sorry, I didn't know you were gonna try to eat them. I'll try and be more careful about telling you what's edible and not.
That's a tree. We don't eat trees. That's a rock. We don't eat rocks either.
So on the way into the waterfall cave, Benjamin picked up some sand by the beach, and he's going to use magic to turn the sand into glass. Is that something I should roll for or not?
In this case, I'll just let you do it.
Okay. He's made a little jar, and he's going to stick the choo-choo that Horatio took a bite out of in it.
All right. It kind of like swirls and wiggles around and seems to actually enjoy the space.
I totally forgot if I was at the spot at the part where I know we can do magic. Does Nelson know?
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, does Horatio know that we can do magic?
Yes.
Yeah, you did see Benjamin shoot a ball of light out of his hand after asking Elena about it. Or Lara.
Oh, that's right. And again, it's just whatever is what were the limits on the magic again?
Basically nothing. Magic can be anything. It's your imagination.
Yep, pretty much. Now, the magic is easier to cast in the dream time, so you can very easily do things while you're in the dream time. Once you are back in Neverland, it is more challenging. But the dream time is basically made of magic, so doing magic there is incredibly easy.
While we're in the loot cave, I'd like to roll a technology to search for more gold coins.
You don't need to roll for that. There are gold coins just kind of scattered around.
Okay, Benjamin's gonna take like 10 or so gold coins.
All right, easy enough. All right, Alara puts down the chest, and while you guys are trying to eat choo-choos, which I think what you misunderstood is that Alex did not bite the choo, or not Alex, Benjamin did not bite the choo-choo. The choo-choo bit him.
Oh. I was super confused. Okay. Life makes sense again.
Yeah, no, the choo-choos tend to kind of chew on people, but they don't have teeth, so it doesn't hurt at all. They just kind of go nom. All right. Anyway, so while you guys are trying to debate the edibility of choo-choos, Alara has been examining the chest, and so she kind of looks up at you guys and says, "You know what? I don't think this chest even properly takes a key." Well, it does, but it's not, a key made for it. And so she points at the front, and there's a large clasp styled like a skull. And she kind of like points over at the two eye sockets and says, I think it requires 2 skeleton keys.
Or skeleton keys.
Skeleton keys are, well, they're magic items that are found around Neverland. No one's really sure exactly where they come from. They just kind of seem to be there. At least as far as I'm aware, nobody knows who made them. But they're honestly not that hard to get across. It could be Blackbeard. It certainly seems like his kind of style.
This isn't something we can magic open, is it?
What?
Also, this isn't something we can magic open, is it?
Benjamin nods seriously and says, yeah. We tried to open it, but it didn't look like it'd work, and it feels kind of powerful, so I didn't try magic on it, but I doubt that it'd work.
Interesting.
You're welcome to try.
You know, he is going to try. I am going to try and open it with magic.
All right. Go ahead and roll academics.
And that's just a D20 plus my academics? Correct?
No, that is the number of academics you have. You roll that many D6s.
That many D6s.
So if you have a 3 in academics, you would roll 3 D6s. If you would like to augment it, you can spend mana out of the water bank as well to augment your academics.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 2.
All right. So you give it a serious try, but your magic is rebuffed.
A cave filled with treasure. Benjamin is going to try and remember something really important. He's going to use his academics for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 5s, so it does mean I succeed.
Yep. What do you remember?
Benjamin remembers that Maymay got a pretty little jewel out of the unicorn's horn. All of the little sparkling treasures and the gems in the skull of the treasure chest reminded him that he had seen one. And so he's gonna kind of turn and crouch down on his knees by Maymay and say, "Hey Maymay, you remember what you got out of the unicorn horn?"
Oh, you mean this red rock?
Yeah, can I see it?
Sure. It's pretty.
So,
Benjamin the rock.
Benjamin's gonna hold up the rock and examine it, and he's gonna say, "Yeah, it is very pretty. Should I roll anything to appraise it, to like figure out if it has magical properties, what type of gem it might be, or not?"
So it's definitely magical. It appears to be a ruby, and it is prism shaped.
Benjamin is going to point the prism away from people and channel a little bit of magic into it.
All right. The magic flows into the crystal and just vanishes as if it were just being sucked into the abyss.
Benjamin has found something very cool, and he's going to... Benjamin says, it just ate my magic. He says very excitedly. Hey, Maymay. Well, it depends on how I use it. Benjamin has a slight little mischievous grin on his face, and he says, "Hey, Maymay, what do you think I could trade for this?"
Well, nothing. I didn't get anything for it.
Benjamin says, okay, that's okay. I'll think of something to get you later. Remembering that, Benjamin is now going to, just with no announcement, turn and start walking out in deep thought of the treasure cave.
I don't understand that guy.
Yeah, he's a little weird, isn't he?
Wait, Horatio, Teddy, Alara, do they get something? We all got to something.
Well, yeah, whenever we're ready to head out again, we can always come back here and pick up any new gear that we need.
Ooh, fun.
What kind of stuff did you get?
I got Mr. Snuggles. May holds up Mr. Snuggles for everyone to admire.
No, it is a fuzzy-looking teddy bear with an eye patch and a scar running across one eye. Like, not a real scar, obviously. It's like stitches in the shape of a scar.
Oh,
He's cute. He's my
lovely.
best friend, and he wrestled a unicorn.
He wrestled what?
He wrestled a unicorn.
That's crazy. A unicorn?
And they shoot lightning out of their homes.
All I have to do is think magical thoughts, and then Mr. Snuggles turns into a big, friendly, strong bear.
Right.
So watch out.
Interesting. Oh, that's very interesting.
I had a lightning stick, but then they broke it. I say saltily.
So it sounds like we have to find some of these skeleton keys.
Well, if we want to figure out what's inside that chest, we will. But I'm sure we can trade some skeleton keys for, a good deed or two. For now, though, you guys are probably getting kind of hungry, and it's, well, in Neverland it would be getting kind of late, so we should probably go have dinner, and then we can turn in. Worry about our next adventure tomorrow.
It's probably wise.
All right, so Alara leads you guys out of the loot cave. As you are exiting it, Alex, you see a single beam of light that has somehow made its way through the canopy above and is highlighting a spot just on the other side of the lake in front of the treasure cave. And there, where the light beam of light is highlighting, you see a small tree growing out of the ground. And it looks very much like your lightning stick.
I would try and pull it up, but I think that would kill the tree, so I'm not going to do that.
That's up to you. If you want your lightning stick back, it's right there.
Okay, I grab it.
All right, you pull it out of the ground, and there it is, your lightning stick in all of its glory, as good as new, if not even better. Now it has just a few blue leaves that seem to be crackling with electrical energy, kind of stuck off of a few various twigs.
I pump my fist into the air and do yes!
All right, so, Benjamin, being further along than the rest of them, you've already kind of wandered back into the fairy village. When something shakes you out of your reverie, there is a delicious smell.
So Benjamin, deciding to get once again distracted from his current goal, is going to start approaching the smell, almost hypnotized, like a cartoon character who's smelling a pie.
All right. So you approach one of the trees that has been kind of carved into to create housing, though the tree is still alive, and it seems to be, kind of a symbiotic relationship. And you see inside a variety of fairies in little green caps, and they appear to be baking cookies.
Benjamin is going to a little bit shyly pipe up and ask, do you think I could have one of the cookies when it's done?
So, one of them, kind of a slightly older one who seems to be overseeing the process, flies up and says, "Of course, we Keeblers are always happy to share our cookies."
Thank you. They smell really good.
So, she grabs, several handfuls, shoves them into a sack, tightens the top with a drawstring, and then tosses it to you. And as it is moving from away from her and toward you, it grows in size until they are now human-sized cookies in a human-sized sack.
Benjamin is going to go, "Thank you, this is so awesome. Wait a minute, I need to go find my friends." And then he waves goodbye as he starts to walk back towards the treasure cave.
All right. So, the rest of the group, you guys are headed toward the village as well now. And Alara leads you to the the kind of cooking area that Maureen had set up. And you guys are also greeted by a wonderful smell. And you can see that Maureen has added to her setup. There's now some counter space, as well as a double stove that are stacked on top of each other, and sat on the counter are a variety of pies.
Pie.
So Maureen, seeing you guys approach, says, "Oh, dearies, you're just in time. I decided that for this evening, maybe you'd like some pies. I made a whole bunch, some savory, some sweet."
Thank you, Maureen.
"Of course, Pumpkin," and she pinches your cheek.
Teddy immediately runs
He's
over
going-
to anything that looks like it's chocolate.
All right. Soon enough, you are able to sniff out what appears to be a chocolate pie.
Horatio's gonna look for
Staring at it.
"Oh, go ahead, dearie. These are for you. Grab whatever you'd like."
Benjamin comes striding out of the forest with his cookies, and he's like, "Guys, I brought cookies! They're delicious!" He has had one on the way here and can attest they are very good.
"Oh, those must be from the Keeblers. They really do love making cookies in that tree of theirs."
"Ooh, I want cookies. Do they make you see hullabaloobies?" Horatio said.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna make us see hullabaloobies, but we should visit the Golden Fields again sometime to see them. They're pretty cool and might be really helpful. Benjamin is gonna start handing out cookies, but as he does, he's gonna be sniffing around, and then he singles out one specific pie. It's a little bit of a different pie. It's not shaped like a normal one. A little bit of like a half circle shape, but sort of swelled up and like crust folded over. He's going to pick it up. He's going to turn to Maureen and say, "Is this a blueberry barbecue pulled pork meat pie?"
"Well, I don't actually cook with meat, but it's basically the same. I used pulled pork berries."
Pulled pork berries. This place gets better and better. Thank you so much, Maureen. He's going to go up and give Maureen a hug.
"Oh, anything for you." You guys have been such help already just after you arrived. I'm sure the other fairies will warm up to you in no time.
Benjamin is gonna sit down on the stump and enjoy his delicious, completely vegan blueberry barbecue meat pie.
All right. So everyone digs into various pies. All of them are just not quite what you would expect, but they taste delicious. For example, the chocolate pie, rather than being brown, is a vibrant green color. But it all tastes great, and you are soon gorged and satisfied.
Mmm.
Mm.
Benjamin, satisfied, but finally remembering a task he's been getting distracted from his entire time back, is going to roll academics. Okay, a 5, I think.
Yep.
Yes.
So that is a success. Go ahead and describe what happens.
So, finally remembering what he promised to do for Alex and not realizing what Alex has on her back, Benjamin is going to find a nice, fertile little patch nearby. Admittedly, that's not hard to find here. It's a very fertile forest. And he's going to gently...
You actually
plant
reach
the
into your
cutting.
pocket and realize that there's a hole in it, and it already fell out. The cutting,
Benjamin
that
is
is.
Benjamin is going to turn to Alex and say, Alex, I'm so sorry. I lost your lightning stick cutting.
New one, I say, holding up my new lightning stick with a grin.
Benjamin is going to look at it, and especially with the new leaves and a little bit of crackling of energy, he's going to walk over and be like, that's super cool! Look, it's alive now!
Yeah, it's crazy.
So Benjamin, now satisfied with his task, well done, even if he didn't do it, is going to turn to Horatio and Teddy and say, you haven't even seen the best part, come on, as he's going to start climbing up a rope ladder.
All right.
Horatio is going to follow him.
So as you arrive at the top of the rope ladder, you see a series of tree houses connected by rope bridges up in the trees. There is one for each of you. The interiors of the rooms are fairly sparsely decorated. Each one has a bed and a side table, but other than that, there isn't a whole lot.
Benjamin's going
It's
to
a lot
go
better
to
than what
his...
we had in the orphanage.
Oh, yeah. And there are also signs above each of the doorways with your names on them. So
Benjamin's going to go to his room. He's going to sit down on his bed, pull out the jar with the choo-choo in it, and he's going to gently pour it out onto his hand and check the bite wound.
it is a jelly, so it is completely fine. It just is
Okay.
one bite smaller than it used to be. But
So, seeing
as
that's
you
completely
pull
fine-
it out, it does start trying to nibble on your fingertips.
So Benjamin's going to just let it do that and give it a little massage before putting it back in, putting it on the end table, and just kind of staring at it, kicking his feet on the bed.
All right. It starts trying to mimic a lava lamp once it notices that you are watching it. All right, so Horatio and Teddy, you guys climb up and see the rooms and are easily able to find your own. And as you are, checking out the beds, they're incredibly soft and comfortable. And Alara comes up and finds you guys and says, hopefully you like your rooms. I know there's not a lot of decorations in there yet, but I figure as you guys explore and get some more cool stuff, we can bring it back and you guys can really make the space your own.
Yeah. Horatio is going to be, sitting on the bed and kind of like doing that like bouncy thing you do when you sit on a bed for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy is just
It is-
literally bouncing in the bed.
Oh,
I assume after a long day of hard work, Benjamin is starting to fall asleep watching his lava lamp.
No.
Yeah, it's switched, and now instead of trying to like move its goop like a lava lamp, it's just like inhaling big bubbles of air and then pushing it around through its body.
Benjamin loves this choo-choo so much. And will dream of choo-choos.
Exactly. Anything else people want to do before going to bed for the evening?
I don't think so.
Teddy wants to draw a picture on the wall.
All right. Alara is more than happy to provide some various colored charcoals for you to draw with.
Teddy's very excited. Teddy is going to draw a very crude picture of children falling out of the sky.
Yeah, Alara
Ooh,
watches
crayon.
and just says, "That's amazing. You're so good at art."
Teddy blushes.
Yeah. Noticing
May
May
steals
seems
the
to be
crayon.
eyeing up the charcoal, Alara offers a little pouch of them to her as well.
Okay. May immediately goes and amends the sign above her door. Say, and Mr. Schools.
Nice. All right, so enjoying your rooms and the very comfortable beds, you guys all quickly drift off into a peaceful slumber and wake up the next morning. It's very difficult to tell time here in the dream time with its eternal twilight, so you have no idea how much time has passed, but you all feel rested. The sounds of the various insects and animals droning and shifting around you have become kind of just background noise that is comforting. You're also close enough to the waterfall by the loot cave that provides a bit of white noise as well. The air here is still moist, but much less damp and cold than what you're used to in the orphanage. And you all feel quite rested and prepared to take on the day.
I climb down the ladder and go to the place with the cooking style, looking forward to finally having a warm breakfast instead of warm, maybe mush.
Well, warm is generous.
Slightly above room temperature, like it was set out in the sun for 2 minutes before solving.
No.
Benjamin is going to join Alex in the great quest for breakfast.
All right.
So is Tina.
so is Horatio.
Okay, so as you all head down, Maureen is already there, humming to herself as she busies herself flitting around the kitchen. And she says, "Oh, good morning. I took the opportunity to make you all some bear mush, if that sounds good. If not, I'm happy to whip up something else for you."
Oh boy. Did you say? I'm sorry.
mush.
Did you say bear
Benjamin-
mush?
Benjamin is going to look Maureen dead in the eyes and say, "I have no idea what bear mush is, but if you made it, I will eat all of it."
Oh, don't worry. There's no real bear in it. It's just some crushed grains. And then I add a little bit of milk and some brown sugar to it. I think you'll all quite enjoy it.
Better than just ominous mush. We don't know what was in that.
It does have an unfortunate name. Well, here you are.
Benjamin,
And she produces some nice steaming bowls of bear mush for each of you.
As
Yay.
Benjamin grabs his bowl, he's gonna say, "Thank you, Maureen. I'm super glad for breakfast. We didn't get it very often."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame.
It was a special treat.
That's a real shame. You know what they say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Benjamin makes a mental note of that for later.
We always
Well,
told
Ratio's
everyone
gonna
was all
sniff
important.
gonna sniff out the bear mush.
It smells
Benjamin-
fairly plain, but also sweet and nice.
How
It's not a
runny
lo-
is the bear mush? Do you think Benjamin could successfully chug it straight from the bowl?
Yeah, it's thin enough because she's added milk to it that you could do that.
Benjamin is
Yes.
already chugging it. No hesitation.
All right. It tastes
It's gonna-
wholesome and sweet. It appears to be made of cracked wheat that has been cooked up porridge style, and then had milk and brown sugar added to it.
Tina thinks it's the most delicious thing she's ever eaten.
All right. So, having eaten your breakfast and feeling ready to take on the day, Alara kind of buzzes by and says, "Oh, good. You guys are up. Well, are you ready for a new quest?"
Benjamin raises his hand.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a quest would be super cool. Do you think the library knows anybody who has skeleton keys?
Oh, I imagine so. We'll have to see what kind of quests have been put out so far today.
Benjamin is going to ask, so where do we check what the quests are?
Yeah, we'll have to head back into the library.
Benjamin is going to get up and lead the group to the library.
All right. Alara shrinks you all down once again to fairy size so that you can easily go in through the front door. And entering the library, it is once again filled with a golden glowing light coming from all angles. And you see a large corkboard upon which are a variety of different quests posted.
Benjamin, walking up to the quest board, is going to say, "Hey, library, cross-reference quests with owners of skeleton keys, please."
Cross-referencing. Done. And the you see the quests kind of rearrange themselves on the board to where there are a series of them on the left and ones on the right. All of the quests on the left are associated with individuals who are likely to have skeleton keys.
Benjamin is going to start examining the quests on the left.
All right. So looking through, there's a variety of quests. You still see that there is a giant goose on the loose. You also have mentioned that Captain Hook seems to have found a new map that seems like it could be a promising lead toward Blackbeard's treasure. Unsurprisingly, it seems Captain Hook would have access to skeleton keys as well. You also see another quest that someone seems to be kidnapping baby seals. There is
Seal?
indeed. There's also been reports that a diamond dolphin has been spotted off of the Emerald Coast. There's one saying that there are too many greelings in the giant's footsteps. There is also a report that someone put in saying that they saw a vampire near Twilight Falls. There's a note further on the quest stating that the individual who reported seeing the vampire has not been heard of since then. There is also a friendly pack of werewolves that are requesting help with a sensitive matter. No further details are provided. There is also complaints from one of the pirate cities that someone seems to be counterfeiting pieces of 8, And finally, there is a quest stating that the choo-choo migration is headed right for a small village, and the village is requesting help.
Benjamin, pushing back personal feelings for a moment, is gonna turn to the group and say, well, I think everyone should pick a quest, and then we should vote on the quest we want to do. He's going to grab the choo-choo migration slip and go off into the library.
I think we all know which one he wants to do.
So are we reading or are we researching?
Right now, you are deciding what quest you would like to pursue.
Well, Diamond Dolphins sound pretty neat, as does messing with Blackbeard. Not Blackbeard, Hook, given that he, tried to imprison us and goodness knows
I'd
what
have
else.
Yeah,
Try
he
and
tried
have
to
us
Shanghai
sleep.
you.
Yes, exactly.
While people are picking what quests they want to do, I rolled an academics to determine Benjamin's further progress into Magic for Dummies, and the best I got was a 3. So he gets about...
Well, you don't get to decide with a 3.
Oh.
The
Well,
GM
my suggestion would be I started in the wrong chapter, and so that slowed me down, but that's my suggestion.
All right. Yeah, you start in the you start rereading a chapter, and then by the time you realize you've already read this bit, you start staring at the drawings of the choo-choo on the quest slip that you have, and then start reading the same wrong chapter again. All right. Any other discussions on which quest you would like to accept?
I mean, Juju.
I love Dolphin.
All right.
Sorry, what else?
So
I'm
all right. Diamond Dolphin has 2 votes so far.
I vote for... What do I vote for? I vote for Hook.
Okay,
I
Diamond
vote for the
Dolphin has
choo-choos.
1 quote. Okay, that's 2
I
for
vote for the
choo-choos.
choo-choos.
All right. Well, the rest of the group comes in and finds Benjamin and let him know that they have decided that they would all like to do the choo-choo quest.
Benjamin is going to excitedly put up his book and say, hey, library, can you give me a book with information on choo-choo migration habits?
So the light flashes a couple of times, and then a book comes floating out of the library, flying Harry Potter style like a bird, and perches on a what's it called? Not a lectern. You know those little stands that you put books on.
I think that's actually called a lectern.
All right. Well, it perches on a lectern next to you.
Benjamin is going to start reading it. Let's see how well he does.
All right. Roll academics.
The best I got there. I can't see.
4. So you
Okay.
do earn a mana. And what do you learn about
Isn't
choo-choos?
5 earn a mana, and then 6 is earn 2 mana, and then 4 is you just succeed?
I think you're right. You're too honest for your own good. You could have gotten a mana out of it. But yes. So describe a
We're
mostly
so lucky
positive
last
result.
session, I'm fine.
Right? Describe a mostly positive result of your action, but also include a negative or humorous effect.
So, Benjamin is going to engross himself in studying the habits of choo-choos and what can guide them to a certain location or guide them away, and he finds that dark, damp places are their favorite, and they don't like hot and warm places. But, unfortunately...
Do you mean
he's
hot and
also-
dry? Because hot and warm are the same thing.
Yes, hot and dry. No, it's hot and warm. That's a mistake he made. He thinks it's hot and warm, specifically.
Okay.
But he has also discovered that apparently in migrations, supposedly, there is a legendary golden choo-choo that is the best choo-choo of all choo-choos. The Ultra Choo-choo, and has now become obsessed with trying to find one.
All right. What would the rest of the group like to try and research? Or if people are not interested in research, you guys can head out to the loot cave to try and get some gear.
What was the mission of the choo-choo? I must have missed it.
All right,
Like,
so
what was the...
there is a choo-choo migration headed directly for a small village, and the village has requested help.
Ah,
Eddie wants to research the area that the village is in and surrounding.
All right, go ahead and roll academics.
My Roll20 is not working and it's not showing anything.
how many do you need to roll? I've got a bunch of d6s.
Yeah, that's the problem. I don't know.
All right, let me pull up your character real quick.
Oh, duh.
All right, you have a 1 in academics. Would you like to spend any water mana to improve that?
You
currently have 7 water mana.
Probably a good idea.
All right, how much would you like to spend?
How much is the group good with me using? Like, I was thinking
As
1 or
much
2.
as you want.
I think 2 is probably a good one.
Okay, so I'll use 2.
All right, go ahead and roll 3d6 then, unless your skills are applicable. Your skill is athletic. So yeah, not applicable.
1, 6, and 1.
All right. Well, luckily when you're rolling skills, you take the highest one, so that's a 6. You earn 2 mana there. And go ahead and describe what you learn.
I learned I don't know, I learned about the town and like the surrounding ecosystems.
All right, so you learn that the area is a dense jungle area with, what are those in Mexico, cenotes or something like that? The kind of like underwater ponds?
Yeah, I believe it's something like that.
All right, well, I'm going to go with that.
Cenote is a cave that had a cave in, so there is plant life and sunlight in the cave.
Okay, so what are the ones that they have in Mexico where they're like there's filled with water? They're kind of like underground lakes.
Cenotes can have water in them. I think that's probably what we're talking about.
Probably. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely what we're talking about. And they're like all of the pictures when I search for cenote show them full of water. So I don't know if that's necessarily part.
Maybe the water is what makes the ground cave in.
Yeah. A cenote is a natural pit or sinkhole resulting when a collapse of limestone bedrock exposes groundwater. Okay, yeah, so they are definitely like filled with water.
Definitely water. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm impressed that I remembered the right word. That's not common for me. So you know that the area is a densely forested area that also has a large number of cenotes, which are connected together in a complex underground cave network. Is there anything else you would like to have learned about the area?
No wonder choo-choos live there.
I don't know. Can I hold that on for like later if I need to recall information that I learned?
Yeah, I mean, at any point in the game, you can either like roll academics again to remember something, or you can always just call for a confessional and be like, oh man, I remembered how when I was researching, I learned about the fact that some of the cenotes are, you know, connected to underground geysers, and they actually, you know, are filled with boiling hot water or whatever, right?
Nice. Awesome. I'll probably do that because I can't think of anything right now.
All right. Who else would like to research?
I will research. I will research about migration patterns of choo-choos.
All right, so you and Benjamin are both kind of peering over the same book. Go ahead and roll academics.
The highest, you say?
Yes, so you roll however many, so you've got 3 in academics, you would roll 3 d6s, and then you would take the highest. And you could probably include well-read on this one, so you could roll 4 dice on this.
Let's see. Oh, so that would be a 6 is the highest.
And that is going to get you another 2 mana. And what do you learn about choo-choo migrations?
Well, I learned that choo-choos are typically. I come up with what the answer is.
Yep.
Yes.
But if you can't come up with anything, I am happy to fill in for you. So.
Well, just let me know if this breaks the game.
Yeah, I will.
I learned that choo-choos are not typically migratory creatures, but rather they prefer to stay in one, usually big plains area.
All right. Anything else?
I also learned that choo-choos, let's see, are attracted to. Are we talking about are these like trains, by the way? Is that
no? These are little slime creatures. So do you remember
the choo-choos in the cave?
Yes, they're the same choo-choos as the ones from the cave.
He played Breath of the Wild.
Okay. I learned that choo-choos love the taste and smell of cashews.
All right. Would anyone else?
I thought you said that they loved being nibbled on.
They just love it when you eat them.
They just love it when you bite them randomly.
Right? They're like that one creature from the end of the world in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
All right. Anyone else want to do research before we head out and gear up? All right, go ahead and roll. What are you researching?
I would like to research what village is it? Like who lives there and stuff.
All right, go ahead and roll academics or connection. Is that what it's called? Contact.
Okay, I've got 3. And it's backslash or forward slash?
Forward slash. Forward slash R space the number and then D and the size of the die. In this case, 6. Slash and then R.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. All right, that's a 4. So that is a mostly positive result, but you must include a negative or humorous effect. So, what do you learn?
Well, I'm not sure what I want to learn exactly, but I don't want them to try to kill us when we get there because they're like secretly pirates or something.
All right, area is
I don't
not
know.
full of secret pirates.
But other than that, like, I don't know. Sorry.
It's all good. Like I said, if you're ever not sure what you learn, you can always ask me to do it.
She wants to learn that the inhabitants of the village are all little tiny forest creatures.
All right.
No, the purple people eat all.
I mean, it'd be adorable if it was forest creatures. I second that.
All right.
I'd like to research friends and enemies of choo-choos in the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, go ahead and roll academics.
Can I use my animal buff?
Yes. In fact, if you would like to roll contact instead of academics, you can do that, but it sounds like you already got a 6.
Yes.
All right, that's 2 more mana. What do you learn?
May learned, to her horror, that the primary predator of the choo-choo is a hullabaloo beast.
No!
The slimy nature of the choo-choos is perfect for slurping up through their long trunks.
Oh.
All right,
Oh.
it's sad, but it's true.
I go over and consult Mei.
You know, it's like they say. It's kind of like boba tea. It, satisfies the primal urge to slurp up tadpoles through a reed.
I'm sorry, who said that about boba tea?
A psychopath? That
The
is
answer
hilarious,
is your
though.
wife.
Well, there you go. I guess Anna has a primal urge to slurp up.
Don't we all?
Don't we?
All right, any other research? Cool.
I don't think so.
All right, with yourselves armed with knowledge, it is now time to head to the loot cave and arm yourselves with more tangible items.
Benjamin has written down what everybody has learned about choo-choos in a book that like an empty book he got from the library.
All right. Yes, the library is more than happy to provide you with a book and a magical quill that never runs out of ink.
Benjamin feels very fancy using a quill instead of a pen and is very satisfied as we transition
Don't
to
you
the
mean a
cave.
block of charcoal? Because obviously that's all we've ever written before.
Dun dun dun. All right, so you guys return to the cave, and you do see that the choo-choos have moved around on the roof, and they seem to be trying to spell out a message.
Benjamin is gonna try and read what the choo-choos say. Is that an academic, or can he just do that?
Yeah, no, you just have to get to the right angle. It takes a little while. You got to squint a little bit. But they seem to be spelling out the words, "Don't eat us."
Benjamin is going to hug a patch of them on the wall and say, I know your friend's not food.
They nibble on your face as you hug them.
Apparently will food, though.
Okay, Benjamin is gonna search the caves for assorted materials, including like some leather, cloth, metal, that sort of thing.
Okay, go
Is
ahead and
that a
roll
technology
technology. Anyone else who would like to grab some gear, please also roll technology.
I'm good with my lightning stick.
Given my well-read nature and the fact that I know a little bit more about future, could I get an extra dice in knowing what equipment would be best to handle the choo-choos?
Sure.
5.
All right. We will start with David. So you got a 6. That is 2 extra mana. What do you collect?
Some assorted larger pieces of like leather, cloth, some metal, of course, some gold, and he's gonna go over to the corner and he's gonna have to make a magic roll here in a bit.
All right. I've already forgotten Abe's name. Horatio.
Horatio.
With a 5, that is going to earn you 1 mana. What do you find?
I find. What do I find? I find a little a net that looks like it's just like can be balled up into your hand, but when you throw it, it expands to however large you want it, up to, I don't know, 30 square feet.
All right. And Teddy, are you gonna grab anything, or are you just gonna go with what you got?
I'd like to grab stuff.
All right, please roll, because something very bad is going to happen once it becomes Mary's turn.
Oh no!
I don't know how many I get to roll.
Let me check what your technology is. You have a technology of 1. You can spend some of your Earth mana if you would like to enhance that, though. You have 9 Earth mana.
Yeah, I'll use 2.
All right. Go ahead and roll 3d6s then.
Oh, nice.
Nice. All right, that earns you another 2 mana. And what do you find?
I find a plate that can summon any kind of food.
All right. It is a pretty silver platter with the outline of those like those little conical shaped thingies from. Yeah, is that a cornucopia? That sounds right. But you know those little conical shaped things that you see around Thanksgiving time.
Yeah, cornucopia. Originally, I think it was supposedly a minotaur horn that someone snapped off, and it poured forth infinite food.
Yep, that is what they're called.
Hercules.
All right, so it has a picture of a cornucopia engraved on it, and yeah, you can request it to create food. Is it just any food that you want, or is it just a random food?
Any food that I want.
All right. All right, so sorry, go ahead.
To put all my stuff. I said I'm also going to find a nice backpack to put all my stuff in.
Okay, you do indeed find an oddly modern-looking hiking backpack.
Nice.
May I also go before Tina?
Yes.
I would like to spend 1 technology.
Okay.
Got a 6.
Nice. All right, so that is going to earn you 2 mana. And what do you find?
I find a very tiny little, it almost looks like a dog whistle, but it's a flute that plays very melodic music without having to be technically accurate as a
Yeah.
musician.
Yep, and it has engraved on the side, "Music soothes the savage beast." All right.
Yay!
So as you guys are going through collecting additional items, Tina? Yes, Tina. Tina starts rooting through and finds where Alex had left the red prism, and pulls it out and starts looking.
Benjamin had it.
Yes, Benjamin had it and then put it with the rest of the treasure.
Yeah, but you said I left it though, so never mind.
All right, so Tina picks up the red crystal, starts looking through it, seeing how the light kind of plays strangely, and starts to see something through it as if it was a gateway to another place. And she grabs it and starts heading toward the rest of the group to show it to them, when it seems as though you can feel it like vibrating, and Benjamin and Horatio, you guys being the more magically attuned of the group, looking up, see that it seems to have been collecting magic from this magical realm, and it's just been pouring into it this entire time. And the crystal suddenly glows with a bright red light, and all of you find yourselves teleported into the sky above Neverland. And you are falling from a great height. And everyone, please to give me a... how much would this be? A 3 dice stress roll. Those of you who have cool points, remember that you can ignore 1 stress die per cool point that you have.
Do I have a free 6?
And do I want to ignore high or low rolls?
With stress rolls, you take the lowest that you roll, but you want it to be high.
I want the rolls to be high.
Yes, you want higher is still better, but instead of taking the highest of the die that you roll, you're going to take the lowest. So for example, Anna just rolled a 6, a 3, and a 2. She takes the 2.
So if one of my rolls was a 1, I would want to ignore that one?
Yes.
Okay, so I got a 4. So I got a 5, 4, and a 1.
Okay, yeah, you definitely want to ignore that one.
Okay.
So I had 3, but I accidentally rolled it in 2 chunks.
Okay. And technically, you should just reduce how many dice you roll. So if I say a 3 die stress roll and you have 1 cool point, you should roll 2 dice.
Can I spend my cool point from last session to reduce it?
To reduce
I
what?
figure I might as well. The stress roll.
You don't spend it. You actually just... it just works. So if you have 1 cool die, then you roll 1 less stress die.
I would like to do that then.
All right. Well, we're not going to re-roll it, so that just means that you get a 4 instead of that 2.
Okay.
All right. Mary rolled in 2 bits, so Mary gets a 3. Anna got a 2. Faith got... do you have any cool dice, Faith? Your stunned silence is very reassuring. All right, I'm gonna assume Faith is not on mic. And then Abe, you got a 4?
I got a 4.
All right, so David.
I haven't rolled yet. I want to use my free 6, but if that's just a skill thing and not a stress thing, I will roll.
I will let you use your free 6. So you do not get the cool die from the 6, but you do not take any stress damage.
Fair enough.
All right, so Jason with his 6 is too cool for school and would normally get a cool die, but not in this case, because he used his free 6. Who got 4s? David and Abe, you guys are annoyed, so you are going to suffer a -1 die penalty to your next skill roll, but that's not permanent. That's just your next roll.
Oh, that's nice.
Anna, you had a 3, is that correct?
No, I had a 2.
You didn't have any cool dice?
I don't think I did, but I don't remember.
All right, let me check. No, you do not have any cool dice. All right, so you got a 2. I believe Faith also got a 2.
I got a 1.
Oh, you don't have any cool dice either?
I don't think so.
All right. So, Anna, with a 2, you are frazzled. You are going to lose 2 dice from an appropriate skill or 1 dice from 2 skills.
Ew.
And then Faith, with a 1, you have a complete and total nuclear meltdown. You lose your cool if you had any, and lose a number of skill dice equal to the number of stress dice rolled. So you are going to take 3 stress dice of damage. So reduce your skills by 3 points in aggregate. So 2 from one, 1 from another, 3 in all out of 1, 1 from 3 different ones, however you want to split that up.
Okay.
And you can't make any of them, or can you make them 0?
They can be 0, but that means you automatically fail at any actions that require that skill. So, for example, if you took your contact down to 0, you would be incapable of communicating in an intelligible manner.
Nice.
So,
I feel like it's not going to be hard to because I think I have 3 in athletics, right? And then 2 in.
yes, you have 4 in athletics, 3 in contact, and 1 in technology and academics.
You could just go to 0 in academics, because I feel like David and I both kind of leaned into academics.
Yeah, but then I feel like
not being able to use your brain is kind of a problem.
Hasn't hurt me so far.
I think the 2 out of the one that wasn't athletics.
Okay, so take 2 out of contact, so bring contact from 3 to 1.
Yeah.
All right, updated. All right, so you guys are now falling through the air, high in the sky, plummeting toward the jungle below you.
I'm assuming we don't have any fairy dust on us.
Well, that's bad.
None that would make you fly. All right, so Benjamin, yelling something probably a little bit rude at least, manages to work his way over to Tina and yanks the crystal out of her hand and starts shaking it violently, trying to channel mana into it. And suddenly you guys find yourself once again teleported. You are no longer high in the sky. You are now dangling from what appears to be either tree roots or vines above a bubbling pit of what seems to be hot sulfur smelling water. And the vines are slowly descending further as they are being pulled out of the ground above. So you are being lowered toward the water.
I'm going to try and not get in the water. I'm going to try and climb up and to where there's not water.
All right, athletics.
Same.
Is it okay if Benjamin rolls another athletics, or is
Yes.
not athletics, academics, or
Yes.
Is there
Benjamin
something
may
about
try to
what?
roll another academics. Anyone who is rolling athletics, let me know.
I got
Alright.
a 3.
All right, Anna gets 6, so that's 2 more mana. As all
I'm rolling athletics too.
right,
I'm out.
so that's a 5 from Alex, or sorry, Tina.
I'm gonna use
I'm
2
trying.
athletics dice.
If you would like,
Yes.
Anna's
Athletics,
roll
I
is
got a
so
6.
good that okay, it's another 6, so that's 2 more. By helping each other out, several of you are able to get up and then pull vines up to get everyone safely out of this sticky predicament.
Oh, good.
Benjamin, are you still
Is that
rolling
Tina, please?
academics?
If he's been rescued, then he's not going to.
All right. So you guys find yourselves back at the surface, and you see a short ways away from you. The ground seems to be wibbling and wobbling in every direction. And after a moment of rubbing your eyes, you realize it's not the ground. It's actually a massive sheet of choo-choos moving across the ground. And directly in the center of the mass of choo-choos, lifted up as though upon a throne, is a shining golden choo-choo, which seems to be making a very self-important face and pointing in the direction that everyone is headed. With like a little gooey blob arm.
Benjamin is going to try and make something real quick with earth magic, and some of his gold coins. I assume that's still a technology.
No, this isn't really tool use in this case. It's mostly just magic you're doing, it sounds like.
Okay. And since I'm making something, can I apply my tinker bonus?
No, I don't think that really applies here, since you're not really tinkering with anything. You're not doing anything technology related. You're just trying to do some magic.
Goes backwards.
All right,
So
that's a
5. So I
5.
did get a full success. Shaping the gold coin into a little apparatus, I've basically made a little golden cage emerging from either side of the prism that will like repel magic energy from it, so it won't just like passively absorb magic energy.
All right.
And then I'm going to stow it in my pocket.
You are successful. The ground around you is trembling as the choo-choos seem to be headed roughly in your direction. It's like a tidal wave in slow motion of multicolored jelly.
So it's not very fast. It looks like I could run away from it pretty easily, right?
Yeah, you could outwalk it.
Okay, Benjamin is going to go up and gently touch the front of the choo-choo wave.
All right. The choo-choo kind of burbles in response and tries to lick you.
It doesn't look like the choo-choos here can melt us or anything.
And you tested that by touching it?
He's very stressed right now and not thinking particularly clearly. He just fell from the sky.
I mean, I have no room to complain. I'm pretty much useless, aren't I?
That doesn't seem accurate.
No. No, I'm sorry. I very much failed the stress roll, so my brain went, oh no. I'm not thinking well, am I? Which, no, is true technically.
Yeah, depends on what you took your points out for your stress roll.
I think I left it in the one from the top. I mean, one from the bottom.
All right, the choo-choos are continuing in your direction. The golden choo-choo seems to have spotted your group, and it is gesturing toward you now and burbling some incomprehensible commands, and the choo-choos near you are starting to rise up, stacking on top of each other.
More
Run.
dangerous. Benjamin's gonna get away because they probably could still smother him if they tried.
They definitely could.
I'm going to try and follow Benjamin.
All right, so you start to move out of the way, and the golden choo-choo, having noticed you, now has angry eyebrows.
Well, that's not good. We should head for the village, guys. It was Teddy who studied the area, right?
I think it was Tina.
Yeah, that and any information that has been discovered is assumed to have been shared with the group.
Okay, so Benjamin's gonna start navigating towards the village, trying to go decently fast, but like a steady, easy to keep pace.
All right, so pushing your way as best as you can through the jungle, you are able to make your way fairly quickly, following a few different animal paths, and soon enough you come upon an opening in the forest, and there are a few small fields that appear to be growing peanuts, and you see a miniature village in the center of the clearing. A small tendril of smoke rising from a fire in the center.
Just to check, is it peanuts or cashews?
It appears to be peanuts.
Okay. So not Choo-Choo's favorite food. Got it. That will make the job a little bit easier.
It will indeed. So, approaching the village, you see that there are a number of squirrels and rabbits wearing little vests who are wandering around doing jobs about the village.
Rabbits! I'm gonna cry as I run towards them. There is a horde of choo-choos coming this way.
So a squirrel wearing a red vest and a little red fez with a golden tassel steps out of one of the little huts and runs over and goes, squeak, 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 squeak 'em. And Alara says, he says, duh, that's why they asked for help.
No.
Benjamin's gonna walk up and say, okay, just wanted to make sure you weren't a different village or anything. Yeah, and yeah, just wanted to check and make sure the choo-choos hadn't got to you or anything. So we'll go get to work on taking care of that. Hopefully see you later without a choo-choo problem.
Squeak, squeak,
Benjamin's
squeak.
gonna motion for the group to follow.
Alara says, he says thank you, and that you will be richly rewarded if you can save them from having to abandon their homes.
Well, guys, we have to be able to do something. Can I? What is that called when you go to like the camera?
A confessional?
I do a confessional.
Sure. All right. So we now cut away from the current moment, and we see Horatio sitting comfortably on a large glowing mushroom back in the dream time, and he is slowly petting a lemur with bright glowing purple markings.
See, at that time, I thought we were surely done for. With a horde of choo-choos about to overtake this peaceful forest critter, strangely cute village. But that's when I remembered the one weakness that choo-choos have, which is, what did I say, cashews?
They love the taste
you
and
said
smell
those
of
are my favorite.
cashews.
Cashew. And so that's and so I quit.
You
Wait, what are
realized that
confessionals
one
used
of
for
the
again?
what was that?
What are confessionals used for again?
Confessionals are used as a break in the action, and they are able to establish like events past, present, future. You can also use them to comment
Okay.
on other players to give them attributes.
That's kind of cool. But that's what I remembered. I'd also taken a huge handful of what I think were cashews from the what's the place? The dream place.
Yeah. Or did you notice that one of the crops on the other side of the village had a field full of cashews?
That is what I noticed. And so I quickly hatched the plan, taking charge as I'm wont to do, regardless of my phantom appearing and disappearing English accent. And I said, and then cutting back to the present. Oi, we need to go get all those cashews and take them far away from the village. That's what the choo-choos are after. If we do that, we can save the village.
Edmund is gonna turn to the chief squirrel and say, "Is it okay if we take that harvest of cashews? We think we can either use it to lure the choo-choos away or maybe negotiate with them."
Squeakity squeak squeak,
Well,
squeakity
either way-
squeak. He says that you're welcome to take the cashews. They don't like them very much anyway. He's not even sure why anyone bothered to plant them.
I guess the group gets to work harvesting cashews.
All right, so the forest critters all band together, and soon enough, all of the cashews are neatly bundled up in a few sacks, which are handed to you.
All right, quickly, we need to get these far away from the
Village.
we need to get these far away from the village as possible.
Benjamin's gonna start hauling his cashews.
I do the same.
All right,
I'm gonna
so
do the same.
where are you headed? Back toward the choo-choos? Off another direction?
At a little bit of an angle of the choo-choos, that way we sort of like direct them away from the village at least a little bit. So we don't go like straight back to meet them, we veer off a couple degrees.
All right, so you head off into the jungle carrying the cashews. Who is in the back of the group?
I am. I'm not strong.
Well,
enough to pull,
if Maymay's at the back, then Horatio is going to be behind her and either pick her up or at least running with her so she doesn't get left behind.
All right, so Maymay is quote-unquote carrying a bag of cashews. Realistically, she's riding Horatio piggyback style. Maymay, you notice that your bag of cashews seems to be squirming.
Squirming. I yelp, jump off of Horatio's back, and open the sack.
All right, so you take the sack off and you notice a purple trunk that is sticking out of the bag and then back into it, and then munching noises.
What? Is that a Hullabaloobies trunk? What is up with these bags?
So you untie the bag, and an impossibly large to be fitting inside of the bag hullabaloo beast comes rolling out and looks slightly ashamed as it tries to brush cashew crumbs off of its face.
Oh my goodness, how did you even fit in there?
it says kind of nonchalantly as it shrugs its shoulders.
Oh, wait. Will you help us carry these sacks?
It says affirmatively.
Okay, everyone load up on the hullabaloo beast.
All right.
Horatio, stop gawking.
I thought you were just imagining these hullabaloobies, if I'm being honest, May. Just gonna hop on.
Gotta believe in the magic.
Benjamin, as he gets onto the hullabaloo beast, is going to ask the hullabaloo beast, "Can you talk to choo-choos?"
The beast like eating choo-choos.
Yeah, I don't think they do much
Yeah, it's
talking.
like a.
I was hoping maybe
Yeah, I
you
think
can
it's
help
just.
us.
I think it's just
Okay.
sloping noises.
I was hoping maybe you could help us convince the choo-choos to go back to their home.
Wait, I just thought of a different idea. I bet that choo-choos are scared of hullabaloo beasts. If we're trying to lure them away, we could also scare them from the other direction.
Like that plan, Maymay. You'll be in charge of the hullabaloo beast scaring choo-choo division.
Aye, Captain Benjamin.
The hullabaloo beast salutes with its trunk.
Okay, I'm gonna steer the hullabaloo beast towards the entrance to the village to try to redirect the true traffic away from innocent forest creatures.
So the rest of us are going to take the cashews and try and lure them away.
All right, so you go a little ways further into the jungle and you see another cenote. This one bubbling much more gently than the one that you almost fell into. It almost looks like a nice, warm, inviting cave environment that the choo-choos might enjoy. Meanwhile, Maymay, you are easily able to guide the hullabaloo beast, and soon enough you return back at the village and you can see a massive tidal wave of choo-choos is beginning to approach.
So Benjamin is going to have everybody except for not Horatio, Teddy dump their cashews in the nice little cave for the choo-choos, and then he's going to turn to Teddy and say, "Come on, Teddy, follow me. We didn't see the choo-choos. They're not following the cashews yet. We need to show them the cashews so we can lure them." He's going to start heading off towards the village.
And I would like to roll Connect to have me and Mr. Snuggles and the hullabaloo beast intimidate.
All right, go for it, and obviously your animal lover skill does apply, so give yourself an extra die. All right, that is a 6. That's 2 more mana.
So I launch Mr. Snuggles up into the air and transform him into his scary beast form. And meanwhile, the hullabaloo beast stands on his hind legs and catches Miss Snuggles with amazing, totally surprising strength. And they form a giant Power Rangers Transformers style mega monster.
All right.
And let out a gigantic roar. And you can hear Maymay with her very cute little girl roar, kind of as an undertone.
Exactly. So the hullabaloo beast, Mr. Snuggles hybrid, lets out a trumpeting bellow, and with Mei Mei riding on Mr. Snuggles' shoulder, she goes, "Rawr!" And yeah, it seems quite effective. The golden choo-choo no longer has angry eyebrows. Its eyebrows have shifted into worried eyebrows, and it looks around for a moment, unsure of what to do, and then starts pointing in a different direction. Conveniently, the direction where the rest of your friends went with the cashews. And the choo-choos are now hurrying as fast as choo-choos can, which is to say they are now going at a brisk walking pace.
So on the way, Benjamin is going to try and make another alteration to the gate prism, with, of course, more gold magic machinery.
All right, go ahead and roll technology. You can take Tinkerer on that one.
And I'll also add 1 earth mana to modify it.
All right.
I'm still getting used to typing in the rolling commands on phone.
No, you can also just use the die roller. I assume that's still available on the phone.
Probably is.
All right, that is
Okay.
a 4. No mana, mostly successful, but with some minor humorous or negative effect.
So, his alteration has made it oddly Pokeball-like, including the colors somehow. Benjamin does not understand how he managed to do that. But yeah, he now has a weird Pokeball-looking thing that, when thrown at stuff, currently it's charged up with 2 little gold batteries. They're set to activate. And what it will do is it will put enough mana in to teleport what it hits to the treasure cave.
All right.
So
he
you're
has-
just making us get in trouble. Good to know.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It also only has enough to transport, like, 1 creature worth of juice.
All right. So is this where you run up to the tidal wave and roll athletics to try and capture the golden choo-choo?
Yes, and I will be spending 2 mana to help me out with that.
Alrighty.
If I can ever get my phone to switch its orientation back. Okay, I am just going to... Oh, there we go, it's back. Hopefully I get a decent amount this time.
That's a 6. All right. That's 2 more mana.
So I'm gonna mime like I'm taking a football cap and twist it back around my head as I football pitch the Pokeball at the golden slime, and it successfully teleports the Pokeball and the creature back to the cave.
Alrighty. Bereft of their leader, the rest of the choo-choos seem a bit confused. Several of them seem to be making sniffing gestures and are heading off toward the cave, however. And you are suddenly find yourself being trampled by a very soft, slow-motion wave of choo-choos. Go ahead and give me a 2-die stress roll as you struggle to breathe.
I'm using my point of cool.
All right, that's 1 die, and you don't have to use it up. It's like it just reduces passively the number of dice you have to roll.
Yeah. Hello, dice roller. I'm sure this will work the way I want. Did it work the way I wanted?
Nope.
No.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to have the dice roller roll 1d6.
All right, /R 1d6 like that. You got a 2.
I did get it to roll a 6, and I did get a 6. If we can use that.
I guess. Alright, everyone else other than Mei Mei is also being trampled by choo-choos as they try to get to the cashews.
I will add that additional point of cool to my character.
How many dice do I need to roll?
2.
I'm assuming I'm also... Okay.
Alright, so Mary got a 4, so that is the one that just reduces your next roll, so try to remember that. It's slash and then R.
No. Well, so why
You
are we
could
getting
just-
trampled to walk away?
No, they're moving faster now. They caught you by surprise.
Wow. Thanks, David.
If my highest dice is a 6, that doesn't matter, right?
No, what
This
matters is the
lowest
lowest
dice
die.
roll.
Alright, well, I got another 4.
Benjamin's extreme knowledge and familiarity with choo-choos at this point allows him to easily swim / jog out of the choo-choo tidal wave.
Yeah, no, you just end up with 2 new pet choo-choos in your pockets.
My low roll is 3.
All right, so Anna and Faith, you both lose 1 die from an appropriate skill. And then,
What do I
Abe, you got a 4?
Yes.
All right, so that's just a -1 to your next roll. I believe that's everyone.
I got a green slime and a red slime, by the way.
Okay. So the majority of the choo-choos do end up making the cenote that you threw the cashews into their new home. The rest of them go wandering off in harmlessly small groups in various directions, and you guys return back to the village and are greeted as conquering heroes. They put on a little parade for you where they all dress in cute little outfits and do little bunny acrobatics. And the squirrels do some tightrope walking, and the entire time they are, trying to feed you peanuts and popcorn. And when the parade finally finishes, the one in the red vest and the red fez says a long speech in Squirrel that you do not understand any of, but feel socially obligated to sit through for like 20 minutes. And as he finally wraps up, he gestures to two squirrels, which seem to be excitedly trying to hide objects behind their backs, but they are far too small, and you can already see that they are holding a pair of skeletal fingers with a small protrusion coming out of the tip. And if anyone asks, Alara confirms that those are in fact skeleton keys. And so the squirrels approach you and, bowing down on one knee, present the skeleton keys to you.
Benjamin is going to say, "Thank you very much for the parade and the keys. It was nice to help, and just thank you again. You guys have been great." As he picks up the keys.
Squeak, squeakity squeak. He says that you guys are welcome back here anytime.
While we are accepting the keys, Mei Mei blows into the animal flute to serenade the audience.
All right, you end up with a fairly sizable audience who are entranced by the melodies that you are producing.
After Mei
From us.
After Mei finishes her stirring concert, which gets a standing ovation from Benjamin.
Yep, and the forest critters as well.
He is going to gather everybody up into the ring that, well, most of us know at this point. He's going to click his heels together as he says, "There's no place like home, there's no place like home, there's no place like home."
All right, and you find yourselves teleported back to the Temple of Elements. A great deal of mana comes flowing out from all of you and coalesces into the center of the temple. How many of you are going to spend to repair stress? I'm assuming all of you, but I need to know how many points we need to account for.
Not me.
I'm gonna use.
Number.
I'm gonna use full to remove all of mine.
All right.
I'd like to
With 4, did I get any stress?
Let me see. Not from the 4. So the 4s are just a temporary -1 to your next roll. So
Okay.
4s
Cool.
do not give you any permanent stress.
So if I got a 3 and a 4, what would I do?
The 3 would have taken 1 die out of an appropriate skill. Did you not do that?
You skipped me, but it's okay. I didn't
Okay.
do anything.
So would have been 1. So we'll take away 1 for your healing.
I think I didn't take any stress damage.
Right. Unless you forgot to mark it, that is accurate.
Yeah, so I didn't take any stress damage.
All right, and then Anna, you took 2.
No, I took 4 too. I just couldn't. We didn't get around to switching or doing the last ones.
All right, and I didn't mark those for you because I know that you can't mark it. All right, so that's 4 from you. Anyone else? Cool. All right, so there are 15 mana remaining for you guys to spread out. How would you like to assign it?
For now, let's just restore all of the balances back to where they were before we spent mana this session.
Okay, I think that was 2 out of athletics, 3 out of academics, and then...
There were 7 in all of them.
Well, technology had more than 7. It had 9.
Yeah, I think we poured some extra into technology.
All right, so I believe they're all back where they started. That is going to leave you 6 more mana.
Let's assign 2 to everything but wind.
Okay.
My thoughts exactly.
All right, that is all of the mana accounted for. So let's go ahead and wrap up here. Let's start with Benjamin. What has he learned?
Benjamin has learned that sometimes you have a cool idea because you think you know what a red prism does, and then it turns out that would have been a really bad idea if you tried to do that. So sometimes bad things help you avoid bigger mistakes later.
Yeah, no, there definitely could have gone even worse. All right, what about Alex? What have they learned?
Alex learned that you can actually have breakfast every day.
Yeah. It's the most important
Like,
meal of the day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And he or she was being told that no meals were truly important.
Yeah, that's definitely a line Grelid would have. All right, what about Horatio? What has he learned?
Horatio learned that even though sometimes it sounds like your friends were on an acid trip, that they're telling the truth. You should believe them.
Yeah, especially when you're in a magical land full of fairies and pirates and Indians and lost boys.
It's an adjustment period. It's an adjustment period.
Exactly. What about May May? What has she learned?
May learned that she is very good at being a scary monster. At least for scaring little choo-choos.
It was very effective. The angry eyebrows went away pretty much immediately. All right. What about Teddy? What has he learned?
Teddy learned that this place is awesome because they let you have chocolate pie for dinner and let you draw on the walls.
Yeah. And nobody has complained once.
Yep.
Pretty sweet. All right. And last but not least, what has Tina learned?
Tina's learned that if she doesn't say anything, no one will yell at her for dropping them out of the sky, except for, well, they're dropping out of the sky.
That's right. Especially since Benjamin went ahead and, also almost killed you with the same stone immediately afterward. So it worked out. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. Thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you all had a good game. I know I did, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye.